All right. Let's get started with what we've got today. Push through onto that. And it looks like they're still on map screen. Let's go ahead and get the prediction up as well. I'll set it for 20 minutes. And, oh wait, no, I should probably put that there. Okay. Let's make sure that loops correctly. All right. And they still haven't officially pushed through yet. Okie dokie. So, oh, we got plenty of time to work with this one, but we'll just have to see how things go. I'm going to speed up the music because this one sometimes gets caught in BS, so we'll just put that on there. Get rid of my calendar. All right. Audio levels look good. Everything is set. Let me go ahead and get ready to write down audio clips here. X all those out. All right. Where do I want to put that? All right. How are y'all doing? We have Friday night fights going today. And I've got the music a bit sped up, but that's fine. I'm going to lower the audio on it just a touch. And it's Friday. I'm back up to a decent little bit of health, so I'll be trying to do all 3 rounds Friday night fights tonight. If I can't make it, I'll at least do 2. I will just judge that for myself. Then, of course, we'll have DayZ tonight. I'll probably only stream that for about an hour and a half to 2, but I might do more if I'm feeling okay. This weekend, we've got 3 streams on Saturday. First is going to be a 5 o'clock 3-way PvP I'm going to be hosting in my own community. That is going to be SCP themed. There is going to be some spooks and horrors. We'll see if the player base can handle it. Then 7 o'clock we'll be streaming, doing some air stuff in that new community, the little Halo unit, 777th. And then 10 o'clock will be another round of contracting with Stillwater Security Solutions. Sunday, I don't know when I'm going to start streaming in the morning, but there's an event going on between the Always Give Back charity and the game Xfil. That's officially starting at 9 o'clock, but that's just Peeps, who runs the charity, cleaning up. Big Bird, who is, I guess I'd call him the community representative for the devs. Peeps is going to be cleaning Big Bird's computer up, and then maybe we'll actually show off some of the game. And then, let's see, gonna try to do the 3 to 5 in, whatchamacallit. I'm blanking on them. The SOG Prairie Fire official dev community for the, CDLC. And then I think that's it. Might do something else at 5 o'clock, but we'll see. Still trying to rebuild myself. I'm getting Metro ready to go for his up on Monday for Fallout, and Tuesday is now going to be HK stuff, so Wednesday is going to be when the next Stargate stuff operation is, and then I'll try to find some time for a few other missions I have planned. I already sound better? Yeah, exactly. Other good news before we officially start the commentary off, the wedding fund where I have to pay $40K for my side, it's now down to $38K because we officially made the savings account where we're going to be putting all that money, so I guess 38 is less terrifying than 40, right? Haha, kill me. Anyway, let's go ahead and actually get over the mission details here. So we're starting World War II, the rotation for FNF. So we're going to be seeing a lot of World War II themed operations over the next, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks. But otherwise, we've got a small turnout for today, so it's going to be a little under-strength platoon versus under-strength platoon, 3 squads versus 3 squads with command. I'm going to be honest, this with World War II I think is going to be quite nice, because especially when we're going to see things like bolt actions on the field, this is going to be a really nice balancing to see what people can do with their limited manpower. But regardless, let's go over the mission. So, tasks today, Blue 4 is going to be trying to hack a terminal and get 2 sectors cleared. I think the terminal is meant to be a placeholder to actually blow up a bridge, but I could be wrong. But it looks like it's actually just a physical terminal. All right, so sometimes they have, like, barrels instead where you hack, quote-unquote, when it blows up, it, like, takes out an objective with it. But it looks like it's just a simple terminal piece. And Dream is already dead.
Literally there's damage for melee.
That's fucking hilarious.
Of course, I think melee doesn't.
So it looks like they can kill each other with melee. And Dream has been insta-killed, I guess, to prove that, which is... Well, you're not going to see me crying about it. Regardless, render distance for this round is going to be 1,000 meters. No fortify points, because it looks like Blue 4 and Green 4 are spawning outside of the actual defensive zone. So the color doesn't matter, and it's your standard 50-minute round. Notes, combat engineers are unable to build in this mission. Yep, all right. Otherwise, background. The Battle of Arnhem was a battle of the Second World War at a vanguard of the Allied Operation Market Garden. It was fought in and around the Dutch city of Arnhem, the town of Oosterbeek, and the village Wolfies and Driel and the vicinity from 17th to the 26th of September in 1944. All right, so again, they usually pick a bunch of recreational battles to do, which is quite nice. Mission rules. Should the terminal countdown be stopped at any point by Green 4, it is considered out of play and will count as Green 4 having successfully prevented the bridge's destruction. I see. So Blue 4... Wait a minute. Blue 4 have to hack the terminal, and Green 4 have to defend it. Okay. So Blue 4 have to rush up and initiate the hack, and I guess that makes sense, because Green 4 is completely on foot. So that's meant to be a Blue 4 go and hack the objective. Alright, so I see what's going on. I think I miswrote it in the operational notes, but Blue 4 basically hacking a terminal to destroy the bridge, and then they're holding 2 sectors, one on the far north, one in the center. Oh, I'm being told not to look at the German helmets because of a quote-unquote bad logo. That's funny. Yeah, I don't give a shit, alright? If I'm really going to get in trouble for that, I don't care. It's just historical accuracy, and if the world is really gone to shit, then I just move over to Kick, and I rebuild everything on Kick. Because Kick doesn't care about shit like that. We're playing a fucking World War II game. Dream, I don't care. Alright? If Twitch is really gonna get pissy about a fucking video game, there's so many video games that have Nazi paraphernalia in it. Look at these chuckleheads all beating each other up. One of them's gonna kill each other with it. So they added improved melee system to PvP, so they probably shouldn't have allowed for allies to hit each other, though, because I feel like this is gonna cause some issues. Ay. Flash, how you doing, buddy? Like, I don't give a shit, alright? This is literally, it's a World War II video game, so if they have that, it's fine. It's fine. If I'm really gonna get in trouble over that, then I guess I do need to go over to Kick at that point. God damn. These guys are literally gonna start beating each other up.
Oh! Where's Sixer?
Did he just disappear? No, he was reslotting. Alright. Regardless, Blue 4 just have sectors 2 and 3 up here to defend. Looks like just a bunch of minor stuff. And then Green 4, it looks like their main plan is to basically come around and assault. I don't know what these numbers specifically mean. We might see that later. Or they're doing some sort of airdrop. Who knows? But regardless, they don't really have any good crossing points other than what we got on the northern side for them to go up on. Friendly Night melee fire. Right, we're getting all the friendly fire out of the way now so they don't kill each other.
That's correct there, because you're over there.
So I wonder if they're going to do a scripted airdrop of some sort. I didn't see anything in the mission details about it, but who knows. But regardless, let's go ahead. We hit everything on the background notes. Let's go ahead and grab loadout. So Blue 4, look what they did to the VOD and SS logos. They just widened it. Oh my god. All right, so we got Car 98s. Marksmen have a scoped Car 98 per squad. MP44s for the squad leaders. We got some MP30, MP40s as well. And then MG. I'm assuming those are 42s. Green 4 loadouts. Meanwhile, Lee Enfield, scope lead Enfields, Brent guns, and Sterlings. All right. What a choice there. Lolo commanding 4, Blue 4, Chris Bear has the platoon's medic, Cat's leading Alpha, Nick has the marksman rifle and Alpha, Malin is the medic for Alpha, Dream being the 2IC. So I wonder if he has rifle grenades for that K98. Otherwise, Cullis, Wise, Korvac, Misfit, and Charlotte all under Alpha 1, Alpha 2 as Oddball, Alexander, G-Legs, Seismo, and Jack. NASA leading Bravo with Kremet, I'm assuming as the marksman, but everyone under him because he's merged everyone together. Lolo, Cheeseburger, Alvarez, Orin, Skipu, Patriot, and Zixme. And then Delta, the medium machine gun crew, has Salas leading, Dying Bush being the medic, and then Blam and Smith taking 2 of the MGs because Delta takes the quote-unquote medium machine guns. So I'm assuming the auto riflemen per squad... I'm curious, Cullis, is it? So it's going to be an MP44 for the group. So I'd imagine Delta, Brits, they've got Brens, but the Bren is also going to be a weapon. Unless they are making Sterlings now. Okay, so they've got that too. If you are punching friendlies in Stage Start, you will be kicked. These are comrades in arms, not your punching bags. I don't know. It was Dream that got killed by someone in Melee, so I would stick with that. Dude, I don't know where my PC spec command went. I really got to remake it, but that's just one of millions of things I have to do, unfortunately. Anyway, Hirana commanding Green 4. Hirana and Charlotte are on the multi, by the way, which I don't have in the title because I'm a goober. 1 second. All right, let me add that in. Nah, good. Anyway, Ash leading Alpha, Gazog being the marksman, Eric being the medic. Bravo has everyone merged together. It's Goose leading, Tindian, Pupper, Vaughn's, Meerkat, Nolix, Salt, Crispy, Mike, Pierce, Crazy, Snodgepair, Bursty, Murphy, and Toxic. Delta being led by Bates with Tomer, Michael, Iqbal, Harrington, Hunt, France, and Cheek. Delta 1 has Nilsson on his own. He'll probably merge. And then Alpha 2 has a joint group off, probably being led by Ash. It's Tackleberry, Smith, Wheaton, Banks, and Vagrant. Hold on. Okay, no, they are talking about airdropping in because they're talking about avoiding trees and whatnot. So I'm assuming they get to choose a drop zone back here and they'll move in on it. So I'm going to be honest. Out of the 4 zones they can choose, I would not land at position 2 or 3 because that's in a bunch of trees, and you know some chucklehead is going to hit the top of the tree and kill himself when his parachute despawns. I'd do number 4. That gives me a forest immediately to move in on. Number 1, I wouldn't do either because then you have to risk crossing over the river, and that's probably going to be a pain in the ass. Just drop on number 4. You have this nice open area right here to work with. There's a few trees, yeah, but, I mean, what are the odds one chucklehead's going to actually step on one and kill himself when the parachute despawns, right? Anyway, but literally from number 4, you got the tree line to move with. You got plenty of options to get into the town. You got this way over here. You got high ground to move in with. You can also flank around north if you really want to, just to get into this sector right here with that smoke, and then this sector right here, which is pretty nice, actually. Are these all enterable? No. Oh, but these are. And they're in the sector. So there are some buildings that you can work with. But regardless, yeah, it should be fine. This is technically a Soviet statue. You can tell because this is meant to be a PPSH. Because the only World War II gun that had a drum mag like that was the PPSH as far as I remember. I hate how I can tell what gun that is. Look at that. It's literally like a stick you would find at a frickin' in the woods. It's like, oh yeah, that's a PPSH. Totally. Because it's definitely not a Tommy gun. Otherwise, the barrel would be shorter. Shh, it's a Tommy for this mission. No, it wouldn't be, because this is a Dutch town. So why would... Look at me nitpicking. Next thing you know, you're going to call me a Star Wars fan. Good God.
Well, somebody needs to close the dirty work. Yeah?
We have two.
Let me take a picture.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously,
something's got lost in translation.
something's got quote-unquote lost in translation. I appreciate them being historically accurate.
There you go.
I wish we could get back to that, but unfortunately, there's some mega corporations out there that want to pacify everything. Shame. Anyway. I'm going to be honest, if I was on the German side, I would just situate... It's hard to say. I would definitely try to put a team out, maybe with the MG42s on the outskirts, garrison a building, try to lock things down. I would definitely focus my infantry on Sector 2, go out, touch Terminal 1, run back. Sector 3, you could also do a bit of garrison work with, but there's not a lot of buildings that you could physically garrison, because it looks like the position is really just this smoked out thing right here. And then you have the tent, and then everything outside. You really want to avoid sectors where you can't actually have forces in the sector, because then it can just be taken out from under your nose. This one, though, you can literally garrison this entire block of buildings. Daisy will be today after, probably around 8:30 or 9. Bloodwing's making hamburgers and hot dogs, though, so I'm going to give her the time to do that, because I could use a good one after having COVID, man. Finally having my taste buds again. I got to eat a lox bagel today. Mwah. I miss smoked salmon. Regardless, I would say Blue Fort garrison that block of buildings. They can't set up any fortifications, but they can definitely garrison these. The only weakness to that is if some chucklehead runs up with a satchel, you're kind of dead. But, you know, if you can prevent that from happening, that's pretty awesome. I mean, with that, you also have plenty of room to maneuver in this sector, but with the size of this sector comes the risk of, all right, you have those buildings garrisoned. What if a squad walks up here and that number's bigger than what you have in there? Then they'll just automatically start taking the sector. So they're going to need some presence out here as well, but that is like 3 to 4 squads of infantry, so they could really just garrison everything around. Call it a day. Now, are they going to do that? I have no freaking idea. World War II, it's very difficult to predict what people are going to do because they just get in a different mindset and go a lot harder in their CQC. So, it's hard to say. But if I were the British, I would pick option 4, come in. If I were the Germans, I would just come in, set up around Sector 2, maybe put some garrisons on the outskirts and be quick to fold them in, but put my machine guns out there. That way, if they do catch the British coming in, I can easily mow them down from 2nd story or 3rd story built rooftops. Whatever I could access. Probably not the rooftops here because they don't have any construction way to build onto things, but maybe some of these buildings have ladders on the outside that'll let them get on the roofs, but anywhere where I can get a good firing line and potentially catch some of the British moving, you know, from field to field. Unfortunately, the AK-74U wasn't available in World War II, so we can't see that weapon in its prime. I have a feeling if it was, though, it probably would have slaughtered. Good God. All right, safe zone's dropped. We'll see where people go. So why would one go... All right, let's see if Command hits a tree, because I'm going to laugh my ass off if he does. And some are going over there. Oh, shit, they can actually glide those? I think, oh, yeah, so you see that there's a cleared out area here where they're meant to glide the parachutes over to, because if they, oh, no, pancake, right there. 2 knockouts, because 2 shoots hit each other. We have another shoot that hit
Why did I
someone
die?
that's dead.
We got killed by the parachute. We're gonna need a lot of respawns.
All right, so 1 death, 2 death.
Of immersion, but no.
Wounded, wounded. 2 pancake.
This is fun.
I'm not supposed to be here. Anyway, muting myself there so we can get that cleared. But Yeah, that's the one risk when you do a single teleport point is, yeah, they'll possibly clip into each other. Look at this one chucklehead that opened his chute way too early. But that could be part of the strategy. You could. How the hell did you get all the way over here? Did you jump on... Oh, he went on number 1 and somehow got a vehicle kill. But who did he clip on to... Okay, that's weird. Regardless, is he part of Alpha? No, he's part of Bravo. So where did Bravo... Bravo spawned all over here. So how did... He must have flown all the way across the map after getting armored. That's brilliant. Now, there isn't anything wrong with what Kazag is actually doing. This is actually kind of smart. Because what you do is you get like 2 or 3 dudes, you drop them on the opposite side of where you're supposed to, and then you open your chute early, and then if any of the Germans look up and they see chutes in that direction, they're going to think, oh, they're idiots. They're all coming from that direction, and a few of them open their chutes early, when in reality, you're just faking them out. That way they put all their fortifications over here, and then you can just have your main force come in and sneak around the side. Now, normally I would say that is beyond FNF's capability, but we only have about like 50 to 60 people on the server right now. So 30v30, I mean, managing 30 or 40 players, that used to be my average player base for years before I moved communities. So I've managed 30 to 40 people as ground command at least a few hundred times, and stuff like that would be very easy to coordinate at that point. But we'll just have to see what the player base decides to do. Meanwhile, Blue 4, I don't think they need everyone to come across the bridge. Don't tell me they're actually planning on putting a squad out here. This is the dumbest thing they could do. The only thing I can think of is they're not allowed to immediately hack the terminal. That just proved it wrong. Oh. Oh. They have to defend that for 30 minutes. Oh. Now they're moving trucks with their mines. I'm not even going to pretend to know what the hell that just was. Alright, so that changes the game a little bit. I thought this would be a quick, like, you know, for immersion's sake, blow up the bridge, but I don't think there's a way Blue 4 can win this. Between the fact they have to keep a garrison out here to hold that position, and they have to keep the sectors intact, I guess the win condition for this to be balanced has to be that Blue 4 at least has to secure one objective, which means they have to secure the terminal being destroyed, but if it gets interrupted at any point, it stops. It can't be changed again. So that's why we have a drop zone over here in case Green 4 decides to come around like that. So Blue 4 is severely lacking reconnaissance data right now. They need to figure out where Green 4 dropped, because they can't afford to be spread out like this, because otherwise they're going to lose both sectors. They could still potentially hold the terminal. That's a 30-minute... This is a tough one for Blue 4. They have to really rely on the fact that they can have garrisons in. You got someone in the bell tower. That's smart. Honestly, marksman in the bell tower is probably... It's one of the most common things that happen, but at the same time, it's one of the best things for marksmen to do. Oh, man. Trying to think. Alright, we see some machine gun fire immediately going out with an MP44 on a single player out here. That's Gazag. He was a marksman trying to come up and see if he could scout anything out. And you got to remember, marksmen with those scopes, I mean, they're literally just like ×2 or ×4 magnifiers. They don't really see much. Looks like Blue 4 found a... Oh, God. I'm assuming that thing has ammo. So that's a portable machine gun at that point. That could be very, very devastating if it's put in the right spot and catches enough Green 4 off guard. You definitely see it watching around in the zone here. Yeah, so it looks like that guy got teleported after they realized he probably just got Arma flung. But you got more shots coming out here. This, I'm going to be honest, is actually good for Green 4 because you see where their main force is coming around over here. What I have a reservation about, though, is this is a 30-minute timer. So if Blue 4 succeeds in that objective, that means they automatically win the round, right? Because if Blue 4 are technically defending the scenario here, defenders win if one of the objectives concludes in their favor. No one has... I think people might have AT grenades. German forces would have... Yeah, no, Germans would have an AT grenade, and then Green 4 would have the Gannon bomb since they're UK. So, yes, they do have AT grenades for each other. I'm just not sure if they specifically have that in play here. Huh, your cover seems to be a little uprooted there, buddy. I'd say uprooted. There's no freaking roots. Where's the tree's roots? So that's already down 5 minutes, 25 more to go. I mean... Yeah, we see the time on the map, 25:15. Yeah, so my estimate was accurate there. 25 minutes for them to get to the bridge, but most of Blue 4 is on the opposite side. I think it's still doable, but it's really going to depend how much Blue 4 puts into here, because Green 4 could easily move into this town, smoke this bridge, and rush up and touch that to stop it. So... Blue 4 is really banking on Green 4 landing on both these spots, but it looks like they're quick to move things over because they think that Green 4 is coming from this spot. They have no security on their southeastern side, though. And if they continue to not have that level of security, they're going to suffer. But I see forces now moving to the south, so we'll see if they adjust. But Green 4 needs to be on the move because, as far as I know, this objective counts. And if Blue 4 technically pull it off, then it's a Blue 4 win. Does it force Green 4's hand a bit? Absolutely. I think that timer should have been a bit bigger for a 50-minute round to turn it pretty much into a 30-minute round. See, I need you to reply to me on Discord, buddy. I want to make your horror op. I need to know what you want, though. We're gonna do a consultation about it. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna try to run it next weekend. You did? Ah, perfect. All right, must not have seen it. You did it recently, then, like within the past, what, 45 minutes? I'm assuming. Hey, Jimbo, how you doing? I mean, so, Jimbo, they do have a kilometer of render distance, and then you have an entire fortification here. These guys were in the low ground, so I doubt they were spotted, but I think Blue 4 is kind of wising up to where Green 4 might be maneuvering from, because, you know, this is a spawn point, so there's nothing stopping that. What's scaring me here is now these guys are going all the way around, and they've got 23 minutes remaining, so... I think especially since there's no Blue 4 controlling Sector 2, I honestly think these guys could push in and stop everything. You did yesterday? Huh. I'll check again. Maybe I got a message, but Discord didn't notify me then. Or it got buried. Who knows? But I'll let you know then. Sorry about that, broski. Love these floating little pontoons. What I'm curious, though, is Kremet can't really see that far to the right, but he does see right there. So in a minute, he might be able to see this group moving and then tell everyone, and they're going to redeploy. I think Blue 4... I don't want to call it yet, but I feel like if they're spotted early on and Blue 4 redeploys, then it's over. Yeah, I just saw movement through his vision, so... Unluckily timed. He's now looking south. He's looking again. He's going to catch him on the next cycle when he checks that corner again. Unless he just decides not to. Did he not just see that little skit? Oh, no. Well, how much is a kilometer here? No, they're within a kilometer for him. He's gonna catch them when they start moving from the tree line, though. That's at least a few hundred meters of a sprint. Blue 4, we already see them starting to shift down south to reform. However, they might end up creating another gap for the northern team to come in. And there's 20 minutes remaining. So I still think there is a decent chance Green 4 can get there. I didn't notice the other team had shifted like this and that Blue 4 is collapsing their entire line. My point is, if Blue 4 successfully sees where Green 4 is coming from and makes adjustments to basically hold them off for those 20 minutes, they'll be fine. It's an instant win at that point. Check Hrana. Yeah, no, Hrana's in the back line, just moving with the entire group at this point. Triple timing to get back up to everybody. Hearing some shots now. Yep, that is the marksman from the tower shooting, I'm assuming. That was 5 shots, so now it's a reload. Can't seem to make a shot connect, though. Oh, very under range, though. Let me guess, that's Zixme with the other one. Zixme trying to do it with irons. So now you have the entirety of Blue 4 shifting. This is where the first fight's going to be. It's going to be up to Alpha to sneak in and hit that terminal. I'm going to be honest, the route they're coming in with, very tough call. They could divert and go cross the bridges there and come around. That would give them a better foot in the door, because coming in and doing it right here, a lot of open ground they're going to have to contend with. They're going to have to smoke that bridge to go around, so we'll see what decision they make. They've got time, but not a lot. This group, meanwhile, we could see them smoke this bridge and then move up, but that's, again, a lot of open ground right in front of some marksmen that can lock them down. So I could still see Green 4 getting to it, but it's going to be a tough sell. A lot of fire coming up to this position. No KIAs on either side so far. All Blue 4 is doing is slowing down the maneuvering, so that's good. Forcing a few smokes to pop. I guess a big question is, do you think Green 4 should be trying to risk any marksmen getting into bushes and delivering counterfire? I would say no. There's way too many potential rooftops that snipers could be watching and already looking. And if they catch you, then that's pretty much it for you. This coastal advance, though, is going to suck. And it looks like they're digging firing positions right here. All right, yep, Alpha's doing the smart thing. They're going to cross and then ride this hedgerow up and then try to get into the city here. I think Alpha has a solid chance, because that's going to then divide any of the marksman's attention to the north instead. I think Alpha's going to be the team to actually get that position. everything else is distracted by this being the main force. So these guys completely lost sight of the fact that there were forces up here, and they confirmed it. They shot at them. So they know there's at least a squad element up there. It wasn't just the one guy they shot at another. So if there's two, usually that means there's at least a squad's worth. What's scaring me here is Blue 4 is actually trying to counterattack. But I get it. It is the literally stall for those 16 minutes. So if Green 4's entire force was here, this would be the best call to make, because they're going to slow down the Green 4 movement to the terminal and auto-win. What they don't realize is there's another squad that they've completely misaccounted for, and they're going to get taken out for it. So Bait's getting blown up with some grenades. You saw like 3 or 4 grenades getting thrown. I think now we have 4 and 5, 6 even. So this is causing the initial Blue 4 attack to waste all their grenades. And one of them just blew himself up. See, this is why I'm not a fan of conscripting people, because especially if they don't get the proper training, silly little accidents like that happen. And it just kind of makes me laugh. Oh, and they brought up the MG car. And that is going to be able to lock down any open area that Green 4 tried to move up on. But again, it's not about the kills, it's about the objectives. And if Alpha can get up there and take that and take the 2 sectors, which are unguarded right now, it's just a matter of can Green 4 hold for, this area for like 10, 15 minutes. Gunner just turned in because he noticed he was being shot. Now you got Blue 4 starting to advance, and Green 4, we got some flanking going on as they stop Alexander, but Alexander gets a really great grenade throw. Does damage to 3 people, but no kills. Alexander running away. He takes damage from a grenade. You see the blood. More grenades coming in. This is causing Green 4 to rout. Cat's running up, throwing all of the grenades he can. I think they gave Alexander all the grenades, and now he's just chucking everything he can. Cat's dodging a shot from Pupper, not realizing Pupper is going to get the headshot. He misses the headshot. And now he's missing every shot. There we go. Double tap, Pupper. Yeah, you're going to need another one. Put it up his butt. He misses again. There we go. Breaks his spine. Green 4 collapses back, and Blue 4 has him on the run. Blue 4 is going to be feeling pretty good about this. Overwatch is going to continue on. This could bait Blue 4 to continue out, though, pulling more Blue 4 away from the internal defense, keeping a gap big and wide for Alpha to come in. Alpha's doing a very wide flank, though. I don't think they have the luxury to do that, though. They only got 14 minutes left to stop that objective. Again, I'd say Green 4 has a solid chance to still win this, but we have this massive outflank going on. They're playing this way too cautious. Goose running up. Dream wakes back up. Goose misses his shot. I'm surprised they're not just trying to melee each other at this point. And Wise manages to get the headshot, saving Dream. Green 4 now pushing as the MG car is pulling back. A satchel was thrown. Oh my god. I think one of these guys was an engineer, and they just ran up and satcheled the building. Oh, that I think has just turned the tide on this fight. Green 4 just lost a significant chunk of their manpower here. And Green 4 just blew up one of their own dudes. Yeah. That's the power of the satchel. If there's a building where they're all garrisoning, it's over at that point. Little shocked that they had another grenade blow up, but we also have a barge coming around. It's up to Alpha. We have a knockout, though, which I'm concerned about. But now Blue 4 is starting to move in. Why? Why did you... Oh, I really hope this is because Blue 4 spotted them moving around and not vice versa. Green 4 opening up out here is going to stall them. I don't see how they can get here in 12 minutes now that Blue 4 is turning forces around and they're going to try to stop that garrison from coming in. When this hits 5 minutes, Green 4 is going to panic and start trying to smoke rush in, and I think they're all going to get killed off. I think this is a Blue 4 victory now. The only chance Green 4 had to win was this team sneaking in, and they just completely lost the element of surprise. Maybe Wheaton can sneak. We could still see a single infantry member sneak up here. Because all they need to do is smoke this and then run up and touch it. And then Blue 4 can't touch it again. But I don't see why we see a big chunk of people staying back. They need to be rushing in like Wheaton at this point. So Wheaton could save this objective, but how Green 4 then transitions to the other two sectors, if Blue 4 wises up, pulls everyone back, I still think they have an opportunity here. Uh-oh. They just AT grenade it. And that disabled its engine. We see a satchel thrown blowing up more infantry. These guys are just going to stay in here at this point. So the guy in the back is dead, but G-Legs is still alive. And Green 4 is being forced to retreat again. But again, I think Blue 4 is now wising up and starting to pull back instead. G-Leg's going to play dead. Is France going to hop up in there and double tap? That's what France needs to do. He needs to climb up to the top and kill everybody. Looking back, I don't see Wheaton anymore. I see Skipu with a kill, though. So I'm assuming Wheaton got taken. This is Blue 4. I think it's GG. Green 4 got completely wiped by that satchel. All of their momentum is gone. They are being forced to pull back. Hirana now all the way on the northern side, I guess, broke off. Maybe Hirana could sneak in. Hard to say. That part of that bridge is disappearing, but I don't see how we could see a bounce back here. Blue 4 pulling back. They're going to probably pull defense on one of the sectors at the very least. You got Green 4 trying to move up still. Lolo checking windows. That's a cereal box. Never mind. But he's got an MP44. Does Gazag hear the footsteps? Gazag does. Immediately switches to a handgun. He's going to check that corner. Honestly, if you're in Gazag's shoes, Lolo tries to do a melee just to show off. And then finishes Gazag off. Again, we're seeing players going for kills here. That is the mistake. They can totally bypass this position and still make it up to that terminal site. 9 minutes remaining. Could still see a miracle here. Skipu caught in a reload. He's taken out. No, excuse me. Skipu takes out the guy caught in the reload. My bad. And this man is surviving. Mills bomb gets thrown. Doesn't take him out. MP44 just absolutely annihilating people. Vagrant, is he going to ascend the bell tower? Meanwhile, Green 4 holding out right here. Some Blue 4 that didn't push back, still keeping this group oppressed. Dream tries to get a handgun kill. Melee him. Melee. Guys, literally, this is the fight to just run up and melee a dude. Oh my god. Dream just freaking cheated Pierce out so hard with that. Holy shit. He's still trying to maneuver around. It's a matter of who can get who with a shot first. Tries to get Meerkat. Just shows they're out of grenades. If I was Pierce, I'd uninstall. Now Dream trying to poke his head out. Meanwhile, checking. Vagrant and Hirana trying to survive a grenade, slowly breaching, clearing. 7 minutes left on the terminal. Banks trying to tactically move around and take out who he can here. Vagrant knocked out by grenades. Piranha also potentially knocked out by grenades. Shots come in. Vagrant wakes back up. Skipu trying to fire through the windows. Really nasty keyhole there. Oh, you can see him silhouetted inside, though. All right, looking back, Dream still playing chicken with people. Looking back on the internal. They're camping this little barn extra here. And Hirana gets blown back by, I don't even know. Double taps, gentlemen. Double taps. I'm gonna laugh if Hirana wakes back up. Banks still running around the side. It's over. 5 minutes, 55 seconds remaining unless Eric pulls something. Maybe Banks, but what we're seeing right now are the bolt actions are really, really bad. Dream finally gets found by Meerkat and double tapped in the face. It's like one of them tried to come out and was shot. It's over. What's Dream's kill count? I mean, just look at the skull count compared to the other side, though. Look at that versus this. Dream only got one, and he died twice. Good for him. Still ends up with a negative KD. Banks is dead. I'm going to be honest. I think Green 4 had a solid opportunity to win this. If they didn't try to sneak around and go through the middle, instead if they just came directly, that would have put them much more closer to the objective, and at that point, they could have just smoke rushed it. To be perfectly honest. A bunch of people hiding in a building when the front of the building wasn't secure, so it could get satcheled like that, was also a massive mistake. Gonna be honest, this fight was more determined anyway because of what Blue 4 immediately did to counterattack. But, again, the goal was for Alpha to start touching the objectives, because if they got their hands on that, that would have caused the entirety of Blue 4 to rout. But utilizing that building was a massive mistake when the areas around it wasn't clear. And that's, what, 6 bodies. And then from there, when you suffer that big of a blow, when it's like, you know, 25v25, 30v30, there's no turning it around at that point. I also think they should have given Green 4 a vehicle or two. In the form of a transport. Not something with a gun like a Bren. Maybe a Bren would have worked. Because I disagree with the defenders getting any sort of vehicle, especially an armed one. Because it allows them to really rapidly redeploy. And it is a shock weapon when we're talking about bolt-action rifles. I think the British could have gotten a Bren carrier too, or like a truck. Something to help them maneuver a lot more quickly. So if they wanted to do maneuvering like this, it wouldn't have been that much of a threat to the time limit. But I think the objectives were more than doable. It's just Green 4 had a really weird plan with their assault team. So that's all I got. Flight Deck Streamer, thanks for the 19-month resub. Round 1 is going right now. It's mostly concluded, though. It's going to be a Blue 4 victory, just looking at the skull counts. It was kind of a slaughter. It was kind of a slaughter. Alright, Hirana died. There's 9 Green 4 remaining. Blue 4 are probably still up to like 20 to 30. Crispy now trying to hit Eric. Eric just has his handgun out. I don't blame him. But he was in the back trying to get marksman kills. Hasn't gotten anything. I'm going to be honest, though. Blue 4 having the MP44 and the MP40 versus the British just having the Sterling Blue 4 definitely have superior technology, but look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is the smoke push. He's gonna do it. He's going to freaking do it. No! Oh. We're not going to count that as a caster curse, okay? Charlotte with the save. We're not going to count that as a caster curse. Okay? Definitely came the closest, but I appreciate that Eric went for the objective. You saw all these other Green 4 players go to the south where the bodies were. If Eric had one other person to help him, he would have been able to touch it. Because it was just Charlotte, and Misfit was still realigning himself in the building. And then, you know, if there was someone else throwing smokes, you wouldn't have had this gap created either. It would have been a solid smoke push all the way up. Would have stopped it. But everyone else went for the kills. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's definitely going to be some Green 4 players that complain about this mission. But it's Green 4's own actions in micro that caused the issues. Again, with how this team was deployed and how these guys just decided to try to garrison buildings and whatnot, and they got satcheled for it. Which is exactly what should happen when you have a massive amount of infantry go into a building. You satchel the damn thing. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think Green 4, what they should have done is if they were going for that incursion team to go in, they should have set up as Overwatch, but at the same time, what if that incursion group fails? At that point, instead of going 1 squad, 3 squads, they should have done 2 squads and 2 squads. And they should have had a bigger team going on that way. And then they would be more comfortable just sitting these guys on Overwatch. And if Blue 4 wises up and pulls everything back, then that creates an open door for these guys to then move in on, you know? There it is. So, Blue 4 win. Just by that objective alone. Now, you got to give credit here. Tomer actually manages to get a kill. The entire bridge blows up. Smith somehow survives a building collapsing. Nice. And I just heard a mine go off here, so a German just blew up to one of their own mines placed on the bridge there. That's funny. Tomer runs up and threatens Sector 2 on his own, causes a massive response, and he got the sector, I think, counted to halfway, which is even funnier. So, Azariah, if you're in chat, pay it out to Blue 4, because they've already won. They blew up the bridge. Even if Green 4 take both the sectors, Blue 4 won. Satchels were not friendly. No, they were not. Green 4 still has a solid amount of infantry, but, I mean, against Blue 4, it's 2-1 at this point. It's still possible, don't get me wrong, but the only automatic rifles that the British have are the 30-round Bren and, what, the 32-round Sten? What are the size of the stick max for the Sten? Fighting either the 25 or 30-round MP44s and the 32-round MP40s and then the 25 or 30-round MP44s. No, so the Germans just had to get one objective. Because they were technically on defense. 32 for the Sten, 28. Yeah, it's either 28 or 32. I think 32 is the MP44 and 28 is for the Sten. I think the MP44 is, the MP40 is 32. God, getting my numbers confused. Regardless. $15 minutes remaining. We're about to see that call come up and start seeing the countdown on the bottom left of my screen. Looks like they've been picking up some German grenades as well, and they're redistributing some of the stuff. These German grenades, enough on a building, by the way, will collapse the building. And Tomer is still up here running his one-man tug-of-war. I love it. I mean, this is what I love about World War II PvP, is one guy can cause so much damage because the individual firepower is so low. And people tend to be very inaccurate. But as soon as you run into a guy with an automatic weapon, you are freaking dead to rights if you have a bolt action. But if you are running around as the one man with an automatic weapon, there is so much damage you can do. Case in point, Falcon. Case in point, T5 Bay. Oh my god, it can be brutal. Charlotte's watching people going through here. They're not shooting at all, though. So we could see him start to envelope, but Nollik might stop him. Big emphasis on the word might. Oh, no. I think Charlotte's going for a grenade play. Alexander, though, on the rooftop gets a knockout and a kill. Grenade gets thrown in. That's going to bounce right next to France. Alexander running around. Patriot pushing from the rear. The Bren gets a knockout. Forcing Nollik to try to get close to that grenade, but a bolt action hit to Charlotte's face. Now it's a battle of the train station. Grenades landing in this building. Another thing about grenades is I've noticed they're a lot less effective. They got to be like right on top of you here, and their bounces can be pretty epic here. But I'm noticing the infantry have a lot more grenades as well. Yeah, they're trying to throw grenades in here. That's going to get Meerkat if he doesn't move. Oh, and I just heard a satchel go off. That might have been a satchel charge thrown back here. Yeah, he gets blown away for that one. Yeah, the grenades are just... Oh, my God. That gets Dine Bush knocked out. Ooh! It feels like Call of Duty World at War, man, if you put it on veteran difficulty. The sheer amount of grenades going around, I love it. That's all Green 4 dead, by the way. There's one that's Nollik, still alive in the back. And Nollik is against, what, 3, 6, 9... 3, 6, yeah, 9. Don't speak about that. Let's ignore the fact I counted to 9. I was about to count to 10, and then one of them blew on blued. All right, let's just ignore that step. Just shh. All right, Nollik on 2 kills, or it might be Knowledge, but with a bolt action, I'm gonna be honest. There's a snowball's chance in hell here, unless he finds an automatic weapon or he gets really good with some grenade throws. But you know, I shouldn't have paid it out early because there's still a chance that I think if you entirely wipe your opponent, I think you still win if you do that, but it would be a draw or something at that point because that's technically 2 separate win conditions. He just missed a point. Okay. Yeah, now we have this. We have whatever the hell this is. Oh my god! Oh my god! Damn! You know, I was wondering why I wasn't seeing that all of the first round. There were plenty of instances where someone could just run up and bitch slap a guy, but alright, we end with it. Hold on. Hold on.
Pierce, we got a +1, we got Crispy with us as well.
So is that 15 for you then, Pierce?
Correct. It's a full platoon.
Smug. I love it.
Dropping this in chat.
Azariah is here. Lolo is going to be 13.
I just went in and dropped some of that in their chat channel. Oh my god. That was absolutely brutal. I want to see more of that. God damn. All right, let's go ahead and get everything changed. While I get those changed, I'll be right back 1 second. I still have things to do. Here, let me get it prepped proper. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord. I don't feel like typing out that forest. No, I'm just gonna say it's from the IFA mod. That way everybody wins. Alright, mission. This is going to be round 2. Where Op 4 is attacking, so it's gonna be Russians attacking German forces here. Alright, where? Up for... Well, Soviets, technically. Attacking 2 blue 4 German sectors. Op 4 has a 7% numbers advantage, because it's Russia. Of course they have the... Soviets have that advantage. 2 T-34s. Excuse me. 2 half tracks. And it looks like transport. While blue 4 has, I'm assuming, 2 Panzer 4s. Oh, no. Okay, alright. Has 1 Panzer 4. 2 Kabil wagons. And 2 MG-34 statics. Okay. 1 tank versus 2 tanks. Let's see how that one goes, Chief. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, usually it's fine. Should still be fine, right? Totally fine. But I get it's because, you know, aggressive versus offense versus defense, so usually they'll give, like, you know, 2 tanks to the attackers, 1 tank to the defenders. Defenders just need to get 1 decent shot with their AT team. Should be fine. It's fine if you're light. We still got 2 rounds. Oh, no, about the clip, yeah. Nah, don't worry. I'll get that all set up. We'll get the Shenanigans channel going by the end of the month again. And get that one properly routed forward. Alright. One second. Just because I want to put my headset away from what I'm about to do. The after effects of being sick in a heat wave. Bleh. Okay. And that's all set. So, we'll see how everything goes. We're up to 64 players for Friday Night Fights, and well, How y'all doing this fine Friday? We're gonna be doing this, and then we'll be bringing. I gotta realign the camera there, but we have our Plinko board ready for Daisy shenanigans tonight. Hell, I gotta clean up the Plinko board. I gotta clean up all the tissues around the Plinko board too. I hate being sick. I hate having COVID, the flu, whatever the hell you want to call it. But that's all hopefully over and done with. After all, we have to raise now $38K for a wedding. I'm thinking I might be able to sneak another op slot this Sunday. If I do some work tonight after the DayZ stream, I might be able to start off the Black Templar versus Furry shenanigans stuff that we gotta run. But yeah, in the meantime, only other thing I can think of right now to announce is keep an eye out on the main channel. Every other day, we're going to be putting up op polls for either the next video to release in the front log building cycle or a bunch of meme op concepts, and whichever one gets chosen as the top, I'll add to the docket to add for whatchamacallit. For the D-goal poll for next month. Maybe make a better Plinko board? We'll see. I wasn't saying that because stuff gets stuck. I find it funny when stuff gets stuck, though. And honestly, you guys should enjoy when stuff gets stuck, because that means that, you know, you get stuff for free. Which means you get to torture me for free. Which means, am I just really doing this to myself at this point? Huh. Who knows? I'll just go cry in my garden. Damn. I'm going to look forward to being able to drink coffee again. That's certainly something, because then I won't be so damn tired all the time, but we'll see how things go. Alright, come on, guys. It's 7% number advantage, so it should be a 35v...
Helldivers music?
29, maybe? No, it's, the song is actually the intro music for COD World War II, which I think was the only good thing to come out of that Call of Duty. Because I remember people memeing it where there was PPSHs in German hands on the beaches of Normandy. There's a statement I made the other day where I doubled down and said we have not had a good AAA game since 2020. And I think the only one that people brought up a point about was Battlefield 2042. But if that was 2020 release or post, then yeah, they're right. But I just don't remember if that's 2020 or not. But everything else that's been AAA themed since 2020, we have not had a good release on. Well, that was because someone brought up the fact that they saw me playing an Arma game, and there was like 30 of us on a server. It was Pogs. Helldivers isn't AAA though; it's AA. AAA's cost $60. People really do forget that AA exists. I know, 2042 had a horrible and buggy release, but it eventually became something good. Modern Warfare 2 and 1 were not that bad. Yeah, to each their own. I find it funny that they literally have to go back and remaster a game that came out 10 years ago and just change up its plot, but keep all the stories for nostalgia baiting. But they did change up a bit on both games, so, you know, you can argue what you want, but... eh. Where's all that original story stuff, you know? Oh yeah, I heard MW3 was... yeah. Ha. Where was the, I thought the campaign, though, for the Call of Duty Cold War game Not sure if that's 2020 or past, but that one I thought was a pretty good mind freak. I always like when they make it a gosh, what's it called? A thriller, you know? Forget the term. Yeah, we'll see how Gears of War goes. I mean, they're either going to knock it out of the park, or it's going to get screwed over by DEI and shenanigans. We'll see. I'll be playing Arma. Because whether people or not realize it, you can still do whatever the hell you want with this game. Maybe I'll get in a squad in a bit, but who knows. Last mission was too risky to stream. You know what? I'm gonna... Hold on. Hold on. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right. Swastikas, the N-word, all that stuff. If it's part of the video game, you're not going to get banned for it. All right? Unless you really get an automatic report and all this BS. What would happen in that situation is I'd probably contact Ian and say, hey, this happened. It's literally in the video game. What do you want me to do about it? And I would get it appealed. But, you know, if someone streams, like, with a camera and has a bunch of Nazi paraphernalia in the background stuff, that would get you banned. Same if someone were to start shouting the N-word. But if they're listening, like, if they're on a 5M server and the radio's blasting and it's a SON that just blasts the N-word, then that is usually okay, because it's part of the SON, part of the video game. So I feel like there's a lot of fear-mongering and whatnot because it's part of the video game. I've been on Twitch for, what, God, how long have we been on this silly platform? 7 years? 6? Something like that. How long has Nemesis been subbed for? Yeah, nearly 8 years at this point. That's why, yeah, I gotta make an 8-year badge. We've done quite a few ops where we've had, you know, World War II, so it had swastikas in it. We've never had a problem. The only time I got a month-long ban off of Twitch was because someone said the word that rhymed with French bread. Because that wasn't part of the game, that was someone saying a word, and I guess that's not okay because I didn't immediately try to censor it or whatnot. But then again, I've also had a few people slip out the N-word. And I've never been in trouble for that, but someone else said the, you know, that word, and someone, I guess, reported for that. So it just depends on who reports you for what and what people do at that point. But Mr. Brunswick, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for the raid. What were you playing, man?
Let's give him a warm welcome.
And as you give me that reply, let's go ahead and get started with today's operation. So Blue 4 going to be defending 2 sectors as the German Nazi Party. Op 4 as Soviet Russians. I'd say this is probably 1943 or 1944 at this point. trying to capture both of those sectors. Briefing here, mission details, 800 meters of render distance. This is going to be a winter fight. 4 to 5 points for the defender is going to be 75. Tan color, interesting, I guess, because that blends better with the white of the winter map. And, of course, your standard 50-minute round. Otherwise, background for this mission, 1933, predicted that. Don River, west of Stalingrad, the Red Army's Stalingrad front tightens the noose on the encircled German 6th Army. Area of operations, the headquarters is a large two-story building surrounded by smaller two-story buildings. The rail yard is an open area with a large two-story concrete bunker at its center. Mission rules: Blue 4 cannot build on roofs with the exception of the concrete bunker in the rail yard. The unlisted cars and trucks around the objectives are locked and unfueled. Blue 4, otherwise their loadout's going to be winter German army forces here. So we've got G43s in play as well as scoped Car 98s, MP44s for the auto riflemen, MP40s for the leadership, MG42s for the Delta medium machine gunners, and the Echo medium anti-tank team is going to have the Panzer. I think Panzer Schreck is the reloadable one, the medium anti-tank one. Panzer Faust is the single-shot disposable one. Otherwise, we have a Panzer IV here, 30 AP rounds, plenty of machine gun ammo. Oh god, 150 times 16. That's around 2,000 rounds, if not more. Otherwise, that is it. And then we have a secondary machine gun team with the same amount of MG ammo. I think those are technically standing MG34 statics, 400 rounds total, and then 2 transport Kobo wagons. Loadouts for the Soviets are going to be non-wintered camo because they always had trouble sourcing that on a large scale for their army. SVTs. Okay, so very little bolt action play here. It's going to be only Blue Force Mark. Did they just kill another person in spawn? No, they only knocked him out this time. All right. I was about to say. Pretty funny. Nonetheless, let's go back to our roster here. So SVTs, a scoped SVT-40 for the marksman, PPSHs for the auto rifleman, 71 round drums, that'll be nice. Stick magged PPSHs for squad leads and whatnot, and then they also have a captured Panzer Schreck for their medium anti-tank. 2 T-34s with 50 AP shells, 100 AP shells, Jesus. Overkill much. And then, yep, they just kicked Zixme off for meleeing because they warned about it last round. But regardless, multiple DT drums for the machine gunners. 2 half-track Lend-Leases from the United States for... I think Zis 5s are actually transport cars, and they just have that as a filler, and then Willie's Jeeps to drive around with. But here, let me see if Mr. Brunswick replied. Well, thank you guys for the raid. I always appreciate it. I'm just curious what he was doing before the raid. But hope you all have a wonderful Friday. We're just doing some PvP commentary, and then we'll be doing some DayZ later tonight, where my viewer base gets to troll me with whatever the heck they feel like spawning, and it's a lot of fun for them, not me. Last time we ended up in a building fighting off a Triceratops and about 200 zombies. It was not okay. It was not okay. And yes, let me go ahead and get that prediction up ASAP. So, it is going to be Blue 4, Germans defending, Op 4, Soviets attacking, and we'll go ahead. We'll keep it for 15 minutes. It was not okay. It was great. Yeah, for you guys. For me, it was a little terrifying. And then a giant cocaine bear came out and literally decapitated me. Yeah. Fun times. Regardless, let's go ahead and look over the sector. So we have the German spawn here. This is the HQ building. They have their flag up top. So this is the rail yard sector. And then the headquarters is over here. Just a buildup of buildings and some watchtowers. Gonna be honest, now that they're not dealing with bolt actions except for the marksman on the German side, balance of power technology-wise is going to be a lot more balanced than the previous mission. But we'll just have to see how things play out. We see them taking out tires. They might try to form a tire barricade somewhere. Or they're going to do something silly. Yeah, that tire got ruined immediately. And I think it got deleted because it got destroyed. So that had the potential to armor the vehicle and blow them up. But, you know, who the heck knows. Regardless, Soviets, wow, we have a massive spawn zone for them. Where do you see a T-34 moving out? These guys all the way up here. Got a nice little camp. We can always click the buttons to see their spawn zones. I just always forget to do that because it's a new feature in our interface. We see that they've got a nice staging point, and we'll see what vehicles that they decide to field. Otherwise, Sector 1 being the little command and control area. We have this nice 2-story building. We got a few other buildings that they can access 2 stories on. Some are in ruins, though, but since there's no air power, it doesn't really matter. And then the other sector, the rail yard, a lot more open areas to work with. Nice little HQ building, which is honestly just a play off of the damn Notchter und Toten map from Nazi zombies, but... Got some blown out tanks up here, some ammo boxes, but the second story coverage on these buildings, the fact that they can fortify the rooftop of this building as well, gives them a nice amount of control of these open fields. But I'm going to be honest, World War II Friday Night Fights PvP is the exception to the thing about armor. Normally, when you have armor push out on its own in PvP, it's going to get destroyed, but because of the lack of AT in World War II, there is a medium anti-tank team out and about. We'll get to the roster covering in a second. But at least last year, we saw a few instances where tanks on their own just absolutely started massacring the player base. And they just couldn't do anything about it. Between the 2 machine guns on every tank, the overpressure that the tank has with the massive amount of ammo they run, they can do a lot of damage. So we'll just have to see how things go this year with the fact that we're going to see more tanks in action. Regardless, Goose commanding Blue 4, NASA leading Charlie. Wow, they skipped a few squads. Skipu as his marksman, Cheeseburger as the medic, Major Khan as a machine gunner, Charlie 1 as Wombat, Alvarez, Orin, Kremet, and Lolo. Charlie 2 has Sal's, Dying Bush, and Misfit. Delta, the medium machine gun crew, has Fonz leading with Mike and Murphy taking the machine guns, as well as Pierce, and then assistants Toxic, Meerkat, Salt, and Crispy all together. I think, no, he's also a gunner, so I'm surprised they're only taking 3 out of the 4 machine guns and all 4 assistants. Unless someone crashed out and they're waiting for someone to come back, because that's the only thing I can think of, because in what world would you take all the assistant roles and not all the machine gun roles? But who knows? And then Nolik is being the 2IC for that group. Echo is going to be a medium tank crew, so that's Patriot leading Blam. I'm assuming Blam's going to be the gunner, and Ember Rose is an assistant, so that means they've got 4 rockets total. Gonna be honest, against 2 tanks, I think that final assistant would be pretty useful unless they get more than 2 rockets per, but I didn't see any special rule about that. So AT also, it's not a single one and done. World War II AT, you need multiple hits to disable a tank, so I would imagine you probably would want that 4th player, but who am I to understand? And then Golf is going to be their Panzer IV crew. That's Snodge, Paratondian, and Crazy. And then Delta 2. Yeah, so he just hasn't merged yet. I was wondering where that was. So we just have to look further down in the roster, but he'll merge with the rest of that team. Otherwise, Smith leading Op 4. Vagrant leading Alpha with Tackleberry, Banks, Harana, Eric, Zog, and Ash all with him as a rifle team, or rifle squad, excuse me. Bravo has Harrington leading Chris Spear as the marksman, and then Bravo 1 has everyone merged. That's Nelson, Buckner, Jaeger, Franz, Cheek, Michael, and Hunt. Charlie has everyone merged together. Nick leading Malin, Cullis, Wise, Wayne, Jack, Azariah, Dream, and Oddball. They're all going as rifle squads. They're not bringing any of their machine gun teams, which, you know, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a 71-round DT or 71-round PPSHs? I think when you're on offense and you're being highly mobile, I think there is some wisdom to having the PPSH, even though you only get 2 of them compared to 4 DTs. I think there is some wisdom there in actually just going in as a rifle squad. Plus, that means you can field satchels with your explosive specialists. It means you can take a marksman rifle. It means you do have some minor AT as well. So I could see why they're avoiding taking Delta as the assault group, because the rifle squads give them much more variety. So I actually agree with that call, especially when you're considering a 71-round PPSH versus a 71-round DT. I think that's a good call for Op 4 at that point. Katz leading Echo with Korvac being the AT gunner and Sam and Seismo being the 2 assistants. That'll give him at least 6 rockets total. I completely agree with that call. Even though they're only hunting 1 Panzer, there are potentially other targets that they could be going for, like in buildings. They could lob AT in and damage the building, kill a few guys inside. But again, it's a Panzer IV. They're at least going to need 2 or 3 rockets placed on the engine to actually disable or even potentially cook it off. So having more is always better. I would argue against if this was modern day and they were fighting maybe one tank with like Mazes that you can range out to a kilometer, then you might only need one assistant at that point. But because of how Panzer IVs work, World War II AT, having most will never hurt. Having more will never hurt you. And then, of course, they have the two vehicle crews. Bates, Iqbal, and G-Legs forming a three-man crew for Golf 2, Golf 1, Lolo, Charlotte, and Alexander taking the other crew for those two T-34s. And Jaren, I appreciate it, buddy. Or Jra, excuse me. I'm still recovering, but I can at least do my full stream load. We have a lot to do this weekend, a lot of variation. I'm excited for it. We'll see how things go. Fighting through the night last week in DayZ. Yeah. Yeah, chat was very mean. I want chat to throw another 50 Velociraptors at us, though. But make that exception where it's like every time a soundbite's heard, it spawns a Velociraptor automatically. That was really creative and really cruel, and I want to see it happen again. But yeah, work schedule-wise, we'll have the 24-hour Arma 3 op all prepped by Monday. Hopefully I'll get what I need to have that all done by the end of the month. And then we'll be focusing on the 24-hour DayZ prep and the next campaign for POG. And we'll see how things go. And I do agree the DT, it does have much more ammo weight because it's bigger bullets, but when you're attacking, you generally want to be more mobile. DTs, you could always set up on positions to then overwatch and suppress, but if you have two T-34s...
long enough for this.
When you have two T-34s and each has two DTs on it, you know, one as a machine gunner and one as the coax or the tank, those can also form as your Delta Overwatch teams anyway, so... Delta does become a bit redundant, especially when you're doing, you know, 3 squads versus 3 squads with supporting assets, such as command and armor. So that's one way to do it. But yeah, thanks for the 66-month resub. Yeah, we've been on Twitch for 8 years almost. Maybe one day I'll expand to YouTube and Kick too. We'll just have to figure out how that'll work on the interface, but we'll get there when we get there. Nonetheless, thank you for all your support. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Liru likes me to torture him. So, Justin, believe it or not, I've been taking the money I make from DayZ, and I've been putting it aside in the wedding fund, because Bloodwing is Greek, and therefore the guest list is automatically 200 plus people. So, this morning, I went with her to the bank, and we opened up a joint savings account to put that money aside. And, of course, I had to fund the payment to do that, but we got 2K out of the way for it. All of the money from people torturing me on DayZ. 2K down, 38K to go. So bring on the Raptors, buddy. Because at least I can fund my damn wedding with my own tears. And yet we still have the 24-hour stream. I'm going to try to get that done after the Arma 3 stream. But I know that Ghost Wolf is taking a big chunk of July off, so I gotta figure out to do that stream before he takes that chunk of time off, because otherwise we're gonna have to wait to do it till August, and I don't want to wait that long. The catering for 200 people can buy a Leopard 2A7 for that. I don't think that is accurate, but you know, I'd like to think you could buy a Leopard for $80,000, but nah, I don't think you can. Especially with inflation these days. There going to be more Raptors tonight? Who knows? Depends how badly people want to see me burn, but we're starting to get all of the DayZ content on the main channel out. We've got 2 months worth of videos backlogged, but you know what the really funny thing is, guys? Those DayZ videos that are uploading on the channel right now, they're from literally 10 months ago. So we have 2 months worth of videos from 10 months ago. Which means, according to my editor, we have, at least in terms of footage that we need to process, we have potentially another like 6 months worth of videos to put up. So it's like, Jesus. The UK sells chieftains for 50,000 euros running. Damn. Anyway, round has begun. Echo already rushing out. They're going to try to find where the armor is moving in from immediately. That's the only call Echo can really make. And then the Panzer IV is just going to go out and try to overwatch in open fields. Because, again, that's the only call it can really make.
Yeah.
Get a T80 or a BMP for cheap, though. Yeah, just go to Ukraine, get a tractor. Do you remember the meme from a few years ago where it was a red tractor towing like a T80 or something? Or not, it was a T72. I remember putting that in a pay for paint as a meme, though. Except we had them towing all four. We had it towing 4 tanks, and all 4 tanks were crewed. But I digressed. All right, we might have some echo on echo action here.
We stopped immediately.
I don't know how that worked, but it did.
Yeah, no, the sleeves, like the arm and the legs should be like...
Huh. Korvac ended up in jail for a second.
Yes.
So, Gath, I live in Northern Virginia, so the venues are also a bit more expensive, but what is nice is it's a Greek wedding, so Greeks usually bring lots of money, but that's all just going to go to the honeymoon.
Now.
And then whatever is extra, we're just going to use on the mortgage. So it all just goes back to the house anyway. What's the phrase? The house always wins? I guess in our case, the bank always wins. God damn. Iowa Reaper, thanks for giving... I gotta pronounce his name right, damn it. Jay Rolandreth. Jay... Geralnadreth. He's a dragon, alright? It's a dragon name. I can't pronounce it right. I'm so sorry. How do I pronounce it, buddy, so I can get it right? And I assure you, I won't do what I did to, I won't do to you what I did to Killing Owl. I just did it again. Killing Owl. I pronounced his name is Killing Owl for 8 years. Dragon is great. J. Ronadreth. Alright, I gotcha. Look, English is my second language, okay? My first one is Dum Dum. I was about to say something else, but that one might actually get me in trouble, but still. I'm doing my best. Alright, so Green 4 coming around. Oh, Jesus. Echo coming around on the southern side. They're going to try to find those tanks to snipe. Got the Panzer IV watching, but looks like these guys are going to get mounted up and move around, so... I think they're going to try to drive forward and around, but now Blue 4 Echo might be able to push right up and hit these tanks. Yeah, that's one of the words where it's questionable if Twitch likes me saying that one or not, so I'm just not going to risk it, but... I know where to fight my battles with this silly platform. Is Echo gonna literally drive into Echo? Who made these roads? Who actually made these roads? Oh, that's the river. They almost met the river. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Iowa. Oh, God. Last time I had to go to vet, I had to put my cat down. That was... Poor Bramble. Ooh, that dredged up a bad memory. Anyway, I hope your puppy's okay. Who did that Jeep suspension hire them? Yeah, right? Alright, so you got Patriot now running forward. Blam's going to be the AT gunner here. Look at this false information. This man's got a frickin' N95 mask in what, 1943? Were N95 masks even a thing in 1943? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Oh, wow. Hold up. Machine gunner catches Echo.
Oh, that's fun.
2 kills. Major Khan gets knocked out.
That is.
We hear some of the dead speaking ill about what just happened. Korvac has a grenade next to him, and it catches him, and he cooked it in his hand.
Wow.
He's dead. The tree, oh no, the tree was perfectly in the way. Double taps on the tree, and Seismo is the only one still alive. 1 second, I'm gonna mute myself locally so we don't hear more of the dead. Wombat coming around. MP40 versus SVT. Handgun fight. Cats wakes back up. He's driving off. Wombat gets that kill. Korvac also wakes up. So Korvac's the AT gunner. He's the most important guy because he has the AT system. Grenade gets thrown down at Cats. Another one gets thrown. Wombat's unable to get it caught. Cats switching to his handgun. And Cats gets it with his handgun. Major Khan all the way back here. He's still bandaging, but he's got the MP44. Could outgun both of them. Meanwhile, Blue 4 still crawling up to the tanks. I'd be moving tree to tree. I wouldn't be going prone like this because this is a very easy way to get spotted. Might miss their angle, though, as the tanks are overwatching. That is nuts that Blue 4 are able to catch that. Major Khan, buddy, you got to be aggressive here. You got to be aggressive. So what? It was just a random bit of Charlie that came out and caught him. Damn. I get it, though. I mean, that's the local hill, so if there was going to be any Overwatch done, that would be a potential angle. So you got Blue 4 kind of separated out, just trying to check for where things are. So this tank has cut its engine. Guns watching right. These guys don't realize that that tank's there. Engine just got on, but that tank now might move. Come on, Major Khan. You got to make a play. You can't just prone. And Cat's checking the vehicle. It jerked up a bit, but it looks like he's fine. Tank's moving around, so Blue 4 Echo's going to have to pull back, grab their vehicle, and potentially follow it in. They might walk it. That'll lead them to the other tank, but we'll just have to see how things go. Blue 4, though, headquarters sector is about to get overrun. Man doesn't realize he's exposed on the left, but has an angle. Yep, so tank's pulling away. These guys just sitting down and listening. They might follow on foot. But the next major fight's going to be Blue 4 Delta holding this one position. In Delta, they got the machine guns with the MG42, so they do have the firepower to hold off Op 4. It's just, will they be suppressed out of their positions? But you see them hiding in the buildings right now. Again, if the tanks push, they don't have anything to counter them. We could see the Panzer IV potentially come around and try to do some flanking, but beyond that, tough to say. I'm going to be honest, at this point, AT with the assistant needs to go forward. Also, you can see the amount of AT they actually have in their backpacks as it individually renders in and out, but they need to keep going. Patriot needs to go back for the the vehicle at that point. Major Khan just tried to engage with that MP44. It's a 2v1. He takes a hit. Pulls out. Oh my god. Korvac risks an AT shot. Cats gets a hit. Smoke grenade goes out. He folds back, gets caught by Korvac. Grenade goes forward. Gonna get absorbed in the tree, but Major Khan exposed himself a bit. Major Khan gets the kill on that. Korvac now advancing through the smoke on the left. Major Khan trying to advance. And looks like I hear the main fight opening up here. Tanks following, with Echo following that side. Korvac watching. Panzer IV pulling back around, I think being ordered to set up a new defensive line. Maybe they saw the infantry moving around that side. Major Khan double tapping the body. Korvac trying to find an angle. He does have a stolen MP40. Tries to get a shot on Major Khan with it. Misses. Actually, no, he gets a few hits. You can see the blood in the snow right there. Major Khan now putting some distance. He knows that the enemy has a submachine gun, so if he keeps range, he can deny Korvac from getting a shot, whereas Major Khan, because of his caliber, he's got the better caliber for this range. Or he could try to steal the car and just drive off at this point. Meanwhile, Blue 4 Echo is very persistent here. They're really trying to get on the rear of the tanks, not realizing that now they're going to be in the main formation of the entire Soviet advance for Op 4. Tanks now trying to line up shots on the defending Delta element here. AT firing, excuse me, not AT, tank fire into buildings now. I'm really surprised that we see a lot of the Blue 4 infantry in the forest instead of garrisoned in the buildings. I feel like they could do a lot more damage in these buildings, but I guess they're just freaked out by the tanks. Echo, though, has a good opportunity to move in. Tank destroys one of the trucks with one of their AP rounds. Major Khan has completely pulled away. He's now moved to backup, so they're going to try to circle back to Korvac. I think they were going for taking out the vehicle and potentially cooking the vehicle off and destroying the buildings. In older armor, that would have worked, but newer armor with a cook-off doesn't work that way for all vehicles anymore. Explosive charge thrown in the building. That's going to cause Fonz to immediately route out. And Azariah blows himself up because he stayed too close to the building. Other buildings now exploding. Brilliant play, Azariah. Brilliant play. Now get back here and mod for my channel. Bursty. Showing why his name is Bursty there. Nicky shit. But we have a PPSH coming around. Bursty, I think, ran out of ammo. A charge goes forward. Second round. And Wise gets immediately blown back by Fonz. Can Blue 4 hold the defensive? Echo moving up is going to catch Op 4 command. Could potentially go for an assassination. You hear the M2s firing now. Quick reload on there. He takes fire from Salt, starts pulling back. Echo, meanwhile, trying to move up on these tanks. Engines have been cut. They got good eyes on here. They need to move closer, though. They can't make accurate AT shots from here. It's very unlikely. It's possible, but that's a very tough shot to make. Looks like they're all mounting up, though. They've got only a limited angle to make this maneuver. Blue 4, meanwhile, folding most of their stuff back. Panzer IV immediately smoked. Hold up. AT was fired. And both T-34s hit on the engine block and disabled. Both sides have their tanks removed from the equation. Beautiful AT work by Echo. Blam on 6 kills. He managed to hit both tanks. Might go for a follow-up shot. He misses that. No, he doesn't. It's just a delayed hit, but he's on 6 kills now. Beautiful work. Op 4 bulldozing, taking the sector here, as expected from the Soviets. But can the German forces still around this region cause enough attrition damage to stop Op 4 from regrouping and being able to take the other sector? That's going to be tough because there's not a lot of Blue 4 holding that other area. Echo's done their job, though. Can they also come on the rear and take out more of the Soviet forces before they can regroup and push on? We really need to see these remaining MG42 players do their best here. There's the sector officially taken. Piranha gets blown away by Murphy's MG. We need to see some double taps. Najaper gets knocked out. He was the tank commander for the Panzer IV that's been knocked out. Hearing some more machine gun fire. Echo gets in a vehicle, and they're driving away. I guess they're going to try to just regroup with the defending sector there because they don't want to play into this fight. I think that's a mistake. I think they could have done a better job folding in, but I think they feared Op 4 turning forces around to deal with them head-on, so they want to try to drive around and engage from a different angle or just form up on defense. I can see why they did that. We have perfect vision here. I saw that you knocked yourself out as. So we see that Op 4 isn't really retaliating, but they don't know that. Nolik, buddy, you gotta be a more aggressive. Oh, Buckner's gonna get him with the 71 round PPSH. Grenade, it's a smoke. Nolik running, turns the corner again, beats Buckner around, and what? Huh? But, sir, please, come on. Come on, you had them in the flank around. I'm waiting for him to wake back up. I don't think Blue Force scored enough attrition kills here in this trade-off. For their machine guns, no way. It's okay. These guys don't realize he's dead. It's not like they're gonna double tap him, right? Huh? Oh, wait, what? Friend shape! What? Friend shape! Wait, just let it happen. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. See, he hasn't stripped him of his gun yet, though. I still see it in his hand, so... You just cyanide him? Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, he died to an under arch thing. And that's all Blue 4 dead. Yeah, I don't have anything better for that one, to be perfectly honest. Maybe he OD'd on morphine or something and knocked out his heart rate, but I don't know. That's a weird one. I don't see any morphine injectors around here, though. Oh, no. He knocked himself out with morphine. Oh. Drugs are bad, okay? Have all sorts of bad side effects. All right, it's up to Murphy. He is the last machine gunner with 2 kills. All right, I'm going to do it. Can Murphy channel his inner Rodrigo and manage to kill all the Soviet forces and win the round? Oh, he just ran out of ammo. I swear, if he just jumped down and killed himself, I would have laughed my ass off. And he's running. So they're suppressing his building. Banks might try to jump up. No? Decides not to vault the wall. I'm waiting for someone to satchel the building. No, that was a grenade. That's a grenade. Oh, good old F1. I mean, from here, these guys need to fold back. Where's Green 4 Echo? Golf's all dead, but all right, they've all completely formed back on the building. Count-wise, it's literally an infantry squad and a team versus a partial squad, a mostly full squad, and a mostly full squad. So, Soviets have the Germans 2-1 at this point. Korvac has somehow ended up all the way up here. He was down there a second ago. He's going to find Murphy and hit him. Unless he chokes, but he's just dropping the AT here. He sees these guys. I wonder if he could fake him out with an MP40 into a friendly wiggle and bait them to get closer. And then just shoot him. It's 17 versus 20? Really? Huh. Crazy. Hey, look! Murphy found him. No, they just need a double tap. Now we just gotta hope Murphy doesn't get blue on blued. Korvac wakes back up. He's trying to friendly wiggle. Yeah, this has attracted the horde, though. Oh, and Op4's stolen some MG42s now. Yeah, that's not good. They need to pop smoke at their feet and run at this point. Lolo's in enough defilade to actually pull away proper. Kremit, Major Khan holding backline positions. This is giving Op4 time to potentially flank around. Murphy doing bandages instead. Oh, this might be bad. I mean, this is also causing a force split here, so maybe these guys can get knocked by the paltry defenses we have there, but... MG now firing, but Korvac's in a position to get him. We have an L-shaped attack now forming here. Murphy gets knocked out. Lolo taking fire as he crawls around, and knocked out by Dream. Grenade double taps Murphy, ending his little streak there. Dream running up. Will Lolo wake back up and tap him? Never mind. The assault power of the PPSH, though. Look at it, tearing people away. Dream on 2 kills now. Kremit, the only one left. What does Kremit have? MP44. Tougher to control that recoil. He takes a hit. I didn't cast or curse anyone, I promise. He's trying to grenade up, but it's not close enough. Kremit throws a fire grenade to his left. Smoke's going out. Smart to be smoking his paws. He's running out of maneuver room here. Trying to throw more grenades as the smoke billows out. This is going to give him an angle to potentially run. Malin knows what's up, though. He's going to try to charge him. Now you got all this suppressive fire coming out, but Malin's coming around to flank. He's going to wait for Kremit to run. Get right on this little hay bale here and watch it. He's got a scoped SVT-40. Quick tack reload. The animal's just going to watch him. And a grenade finally lands at him. Now we got forces starting to trickle into this position. We do have an MG on the corner. There's the double taps by Oddball. Yeah, he has a scope tied to it, too. Can't seem to zoom in with it, though. And he just got knocked out on it. But because of the texture, no one's going to notice. Because it's, he gets one last hail out with his remaining arm. Because that bullet appeared to have made him disappear. Alright. Scoped SVT-40, who would have thought? Regardless. I don't know, with Op 4 now going to trickle in on this spot, we got some fighting on the outside. It's really just going to rely on whoever ends up PvPing better. Harrington trying to find a good spot on the flank. We have a satchel thrown. Blows up the AT guy. Zixmi, I think, threw that. I don't know. We got great players like Zixmi that can make calls like that. Explosive charge. Both people fly away there. Resulting in no kills. We see a few deaths up here. Blue 4 could still hold. Blind suppression going off on that side. Bro, you could literally just line it up to the movement. You don't have to suppress like that. Just heard AT fire off into these buildings. More AT firing. I think Zixmi's just having fun with the launcher. Another one. Yeah, he's looking around, doesn't see any more movement coming in. Harrington snuck in. Knocks out NASA. That was a little late. Man's trusting the handgun to save him there because his SVT ran out of ammo. And we see grenades being thrown down in response. That's pulling everyone back, though, because they realize there's targets under them. Grenades being thrown up in retaliation. That could get a kill. That got a double kill. That between, I think, Harrington gunning someone down as well. He also takes out Dying Bush. Goes for a double tap with the handgun. Gets him. And I think Harrington is going to single-handedly reduce this number count in the sector enough for more Op 4 to push in and take it. He's in a very good position. Going to do a little bit of medical first. Not a bad call. But the rest of Blue 4's garrison are on the rooftop or just out of the HQ itself. Harrington MVP, yeah, no, I agree with that call. Zixmi, I think, pushed, and Buckner got him with that 71 round PPSH. Telling you, man. Nasty weapon. Saul's getting back on that MG. He's obsessed with that thing. More double taps by Harrington. He could throw some really nice grenades on this rooftop. The only way onto it, though, is ladders. Let's see if he times the grenade. It deflects off the roof, though. Just saw one person get picked off. And that's it. There's now more people. Looks like Blue 4's now pulling everyone back because they realize that Op 4 have more numbers in here than Blue 4 in the sector. Sauls jumps down. Dream has climbed up this little tower. He's trying to get a flank on Sauls, who has no idea Dream's above him. And Dream gets the tap. Only to get headshotted by Patriot as he stops to do the double tap and finish him. Ember gets really confused with that. That also kind of confused me. I didn't realize who was on what side there. Vector being taken again. Blue 4 lost the number advantage. We're down to 3 Blue 4 players in the zone. Grenades going out. Number call is 3-12 by Nemesis. Orin can't seem to get the lineup. Actually, he does, and there's a knockout, but I think that was by Patriot. Patriot doing the double tapping. Gets it. And then Oddball comes out with the SVT. Taps him out. Cheeseburger, the only one left up. Orin could still wake back up. 45 seconds left on the timer for the sector, and I think we are GG at this point. Alright, guys, I'm going to be honest, my voice is starting to go out. I want to rest it before DayZ, so I'm probably not going to cover round 3. Just because I can feel it going out. It's getting more raspy at the end. And I don't really want to do DayZ sounding like a ghoul, because I've already had enough of my throat staining for a week, so... Yeah, you can pay it out top for it. It's kind of clear. Oh god, Harrington! What the hell was that? What was that? I can't even begin to explain what that was. Oh my god. Wait, he wakes up. No! Wait. Oh, man. All right. Arm and leggings. Well, I mean, there's your legs, buddy. His butt is somehow... I've seen these videos before, except they're not on Twitch. They're on a hub. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. We'll be back in about 3.5 hours, maybe a little later for DayZ. I'll get with Razor and set something up. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day. Or I'm pressing on my throat right now so I can speak. But otherwise, cheers, and have a good one. Oh yeah, before we wrap it up, let me do something so I can make $5. 1 second. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button